Hey friends, we are on day 17 of our journey. We are getting close to that 21st day where we can close it off and begin 2023 on the 22nd with more clarity and more contemplation and moving towards that sleeping phoenix in 2027, where you will have the capacity to really lean into your own personal power and use that personal power in a contemplative way so that you can show up fully for your people, for your family, for your place of business, for your coworkers, for yourself, so you can fully show up. So today we did have a change. So let's play around with that and take a look at it. So the significant change that took place was that we moved out of the 61st gate in the sun, and the 61st gate was all about the fuel for mystery and the pressure to know, to this beautiful 60. And we know this energy because we've been talking about it. It's in Pluto. And the 60 is the fuel for restraint, but it is the pressure to mutate. So it's interesting how there's this constant push-pull. Let's sit, but we want to mutate. Sit, but mutate. So that restraining action that's happening so that we can lean in to our own limitations, so that we can harness the next pulse of mutative energy. So the sun at this moment is radiating this particular fuel for us, this fuel to restrain, this fuel to just lean in. The two, of course, what do we know about the two? The two is natural, leaning to our natural gifts, restrain from forcing ourselves through the pressures of society that create this momentum all the time, this churn. I just had a beautiful conversation with a client, and as well, I have a friend on Facebook who articulates things so beautifully. And the coaching industry was, yes, we're all designed as coaches to help our clients get a different result, whatever that result is for your clientele, whatever that result is for your niche, whatever that result is for your people, to get a different result, show up differently. However, most of it was just take massive action. That was always the motto, take massive action. And it still is in a lot of the coaching industry. It's just take this massive action. However, what we're noticing now as 2023 starts to blossom and bloom, it isn't just about the action. It never was about the action, because usually what we're doing is we're forcing ourselves through an unhealthy motivation. And what does that unhealthy motivation sound like? Oh, you're so stupid. You got to hurry up. You got to do this. You're not worthy. So prove yourself, push yourself, get to be certain, be mentally defensive. All of this nasty talk is how we actually motivated ourselves. And unfortunately, that's how the coaching industry was. I was in sports in high school. My coach was not like that, thankfully. However, I watched coaches do that, holler at their teams and really motivate through negativity. And a lot of that massive action that was taking in 2020, when the whole world went through this traumatic event, and then 2021, what I noticed is that there's a massive amount of those coaches who jumped on trends, who forced themselves to do high ticket. Not that high ticket is bad, don't get me wrong, it's not. That did all this stuff and threw some stuff together, took off, and then poof, crashed. Because it's not sustainable. What is sustainable? Well, we know this right from the very beginning of time. Contemplation is sustainable. Truth is sustainable. And alignment in the action is sustainable. And we noticed that thyroid issues became a huge part of society. What else became a huge part of society? Well, heart issues. Why? Because we were trying to prove ourselves. 70% of the population is not designed for that. Mental unrest and unhealthiness, because all of that negative motivation that was taking place, it wears on the human being. So where do you see the coaching industry going? I see the coaching industry going to this space where it's contemplative, it's aligned action, and the results are what you make the results. Whether you want 7 figures in your bank account, or whether you want 50 million people following you on social media, or whether you just want peace of mind, satisfaction, success, and whatever money is available in that space flows through you. So you get to decide, as you build out your businesses online, as you interact with different people in this industry, you get to decide what that looks like for you. And what I love is the more I become aligned with my own personal power, and of course we have the moon that just seconds before I pushed record, moved into the 34th gate of personal power. I have the 3420. It's a part of my holistic body graph. The 3420, and knowing your own empowering power and leaning into it, and knowing that you are empowered to be in that contemplative energy if you choose. You're also empowered to be in that hustle, go energy if you choose that. However, we know with the human body, we know this through science, we know this through experimenting. We just know this. We know this as a human race, is that if we push our bodies to do things that the mind is trying to get it to do, we can, the conditioned mind, not the healthy mind, the conditioned mind. I always have to make that very clear, because the conditioned mind is what pushes us. Is that we can really break down the physical body, because we are all so unique. Breath work for me might be really, really, something that connects me. The breath work for someone else may take them to a space where they get deeply, deeply entrenched in a trauma cycle. Now, can breath work itself, work you out and through trauma? Of course. But maybe vitamin D, because I live in a northern climate, we just had like 8 full days of socked in humidity and fog. Taking vitamin D is important for me. For the next person, that might be detrimental. So we all have to lean into our own individuality and know what is true. And that's why the decision-making part of design is just so yummy and profound. So lean into your own personal power, your own contemplation. See what you are asked to, how you're asked to use this fuel of restraint. And just know that there is a pressure to mutate, but that pressure comes in a pulse. So when the mutation is designed to happen for you or through you or with you, it will take place in its own timing. Individual transformation is not a done for you. It's not a one size fits all. It is a process where your decision-making will move you down that path. The other thing I wanted to just say was we start our mentorship at noon today, which will be shortly. So if you want to get in, you can still jump in. It'll be our very first call. It'll be fun. We'll see what unfolds and we'll go from there. All right, friends, have a good day.